Hello, welcome to this example where we're going to dive into links on edges. So, links on edges are so important, right? When we think about paths and graphs, we're thinking about these connected networks like a circuit board or a city with different traffic stops. And we want to know, what is the shortest distance to get from one point to the next? What is the minimum cost of having to route copper through a circuit board, right? So when we use the term link in the context of graphs, what we're referring to is a weight or a cost. There are many algorithms that use links on edges for specific problems, such as finding the shortest path between two nodes, right? Perhaps you want to know the traveling salesman problem. How can you navigate an entire country in the shortest amount of time? Or perhaps in simulated annealing, when you want to find the lowest energy state of a heated set of metal, right? You want to find out how those atoms are going to fall down to the bottom. This also plays in optimization using links on edges. So, further, why? Why are links on edges important in the context of paths and graphs? Well, here we go. We can use them to determine the most effective or least cost path in a graph. If we look at this animation here, what we have is a source, and we're going from a source to different destinations, right? Each one of these are going to a different spot. And the least cost path is used to tackle streaming issues. So we've all been in that situation when we want a movie to load. It takes a very long time, right? And the links on edges provide crucial information for determining the cost or distance associated with traversing a path on a graph. They are essential for finding the optimal path in weighted graphs. Further, how is this used? If the edges represent time intervals or costs associated with moving from one vertex to another, a length of an edge can represent the amount of time or cost required to make that move. In these cases, finding the shortest cost path and finding the path that takes the least time or cost. Isn't that what we always want? We always want to find a way to get from one destination to the next in the shortest period of time. So over here, we can see a route calculation. As this algorithm traverses these paths, each one of them is added up. At the end, we get a total, and then we can calculate the cost. In this type of graph, finding the shortest path between two vertices requires taking into account the lengths of the edge that could represent the actual physical distance between these locations. Further, right, finding this shortest path would mean finding the total distance. In other words, the length of an edge represents the amount of effort or resources required to move from one vertex to another. They're so important in the context of paths and graphs because they determine the cost or distance associated with traversing an edge. So the common misconception here, people don't understand what weights are, right? When we're talking about weights, we want to be able to abstract something like a route. So that means taking something like traffic and saying, hey, all right, we have these cars going through here. We know that this distance is basically the same. However, the amount of traffic going through is different, right? That traffic has a weight associated with it. That way we can say the weighted route to go from this point to this point is actually far more expensive than it is to go from another point. So we're looking at the weights, and a weight is a metric, right? This allows the actual presentation of the graph to be left to the artist's discretion, allows us to be creative when we're designing these algorithms. So in a graph, just remember, a path is a sequence of nodes in which each node is connected by one edge to the next. The path corresponds to the number of edges in the path, right? Here's an example of a connected network. Here we have A, C, D, F, and then we have A, C, E, F, and then here we have A, B, C, D, F, and then we have A, B, C, E, F. And we can add lengths to each one of these correspondingly, right? 3, 3, 4, 4, and that's it.